Okay, so I learned my lesson after the past 2 weeks. I don't want to just start in the car, be like, I can do this. It's a nice day. It's a car talk video. And then after 10 minutes, just be fucking sweating like Kirei eating the curry. I'm just going to do it in my room. Going forward, these are probably going to just be room talk videos. And then probably when we get to, I don't know, even September's fucking hot. Maybe around October or so, I can go back in the car because I do like being in the car. But so here we go. Since this is, let me try that again. Today is June 1st. So what I want to do for this, because I think I started doing this last month, is make like the last video in a month or the first video in the next month be like, we're going to be looking back on the last month as a whole. And then kind of looking forward to like, what is the shit I'm really looking forward to doing in June. So well, I guess one thing I have to say really quick, because this is not a looking back on May, this is looking back on yesterday, which I guess was May 31st, so technically counts, and I'm looking forward to something happening in a couple days. So I reached out to a friend of mine from law school, who, I'm actually wearing my law school shirt, who I hadn't talked to in a while. You know, nothing like we got into a fight or anything, just haven't hit him up in a while. And I was like, hey, how you doing? Send him like a shit post. We talked for a little bit, and then I just asked him, like, hey, so are you married yet? And he's like, yeah, dude, I actually am. Like, we had a really small wedding at my, like, parents' place. Like, if you want to come over sometime, like, he's in Arizona. Like, as much as I would love to go see him, and I really would, it's probably not something that's going to happen anytime soon, but I would fucking love to. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, I'm so happy to hear that. Congrats. Then I had, like, a Zoom call with some of my other friends from law school, and the guy who had set it up was like, hey guys, so, of course, like, I wanted to talk to you guys because, like, you guys are my really good friends. We haven't done this in a while, but also, my wife is pregnant. I'm like, holy shit! Like, we're kind of 2 for 2 today. I'm just hitting up someone I haven't talked to in a while, and they've got this, like, giant news. And then in a couple days on Saturday, I'm going to another wedding. Like, another friend, this is not a law school friend, this is a friend that's, like, from Oklahoma. I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, in the span of a week, learn someone got married, learn someone's getting pregnant, and I'm about to see another wedding. Like, this is just fucking cool. Like, that just makes me happy seeing people I know and love be happy. So, that's kind of the first thing. And then other things to look back on, looking at movies. So I watched Guardians 3, which I loved. I watched the Little Mermaid remake, which I surprisingly liked a lot. Does not beat the original movie for me. I feel like that's fair to say. There are elements of it that I think work a little bit better. But overall, I think I can't even be like, it's fine, it's solid, because genuinely, I liked it a lot. It just doesn't quite compare overall. Guardians 3, I think, is fucking amazing. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite, because I think I've only seen the first movie once all the way through, and same with the second one. But I was rewatching the last scene, like, before I started this video, and deadass, I was fucking crying. Like, it like, really fucks me up, man. I won't go into details for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, but, it hits hard. Other movies I watched, I don't know if I actually mentioned this in any of my Car Talk videos, the Mission Impossible movies, because I'd already seen 1 and 3, and from what I understand, just don't watch 2, so I didn't really want to waste my time. I watched 4, 5, and 6, it's kind of marathon them over the span of a couple days, because 7 is coming out. I think that comes out in July, so that's not really something to look forward to in June, but it is to look back on, like, yeah, I watched the shit out of them, and I really enjoyed 4, 5, and 6, they're a ton of fun. The movies coming out in June that I'm looking forward to, I didn't put Oppenheimer on here because I don't know if it comes out in June or not. I know Barbie is July. I'm really looking forward to Barbie. I think Oppenheimer is also July, but if it is coming out in June, just pretend I put it on here. But I know there's 3 animated movies coming out. There's Spider-Verse, which I believe I'm going to go see on Sunday. And I think the first movie is fucking phenomenal, so I'm really excited for this. Elemental, which comes out, I think not next week, I think it's the week after, which I'm very mixed on. Like, on the one hand, there's the part of me that goes, it's a Pixar movie. I tend to really like Pixar movies. I haven't seen Lightyear, and just looking at all the trailers and everything I know about it, am I going to watch it? Eventually, yes, but it just kind of does nothing for me on a conceptual level. But then, like, the other ones, like Turning Red, doesn't super click with me, but I get what it's going for, and there are moments of the movie I absolutely love. Luca, absolutely loved it. Soul, in contention for being my favorite. So I can't even, it's not even like, yeah, Pixar's been in a slump, so the Pixar name doesn't mean anything anymore. I feel like Pixar's been like really good the last few movies. Elemental's trailer, though, doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'm not watching it going like, dude, I can't wait to see this movie. This looks amazing. Holy shit. It looks fine. But then I remember seeing the trailers to Inside Out, and Inside Out looked fine. And then I watched it, and I'm like, this is one of Pixar's best movies. Holy shit, this is phenomenal. So I'm going into Elemental kind of hoping it'll be like that, or like the trailer doesn't do much for me, but the movie is amazing. But even some of the moments in the trailer look pretty creative visually. Like, it's really short, but like the scene where like they both sneak through the fence, I'm like, that's pretty fun. I hope the movie's full of like little things like that, or like when he eats the spicy food and you see the way his aquatic body is like contorting in the pain and how he screams out this bubble, and then the bubble contains like all of his pain and anguish. I'm like, this could be a really visually creative movie. I do want to go see it. And then I believe the week after that is Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, which is the new DreamWorks movie, which after what Clay and I just did of like after marathoning all of fucking DreamWorks, yeah, I feel like I now have an obligation to go see it. Even if I didn't, though, this movie looks like fun. This looks adorable. This looks funny. The fact that it's coming out right after the Little Mermaid remake, like that, there's no way that's an accident. The fact that the main antagonist looks like Ariel, there's no way this is an accident. If it is, because like, clearly the fact that like they're poking fun at the Little Mermaid, like this is DreamWorks being spiteful at Disney. We haven't seen that in a while, and that just makes me happy. As someone who loves Disney, DreamWorks being spiteful towards them does a lot for me. If this was a complete coincidence, like they had no idea when the Little Mermaid movie was coming out when they made the release date, this is just godly. Like, this is some serendipitous shit. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be really good. So going on from movies to games, finished Tales of Eternia last month. I definitely liked it. I feel like it is one of those games I would say is, while I enjoyed it, I don't think it's great. It's not like one of those, this was amazing, everyone needs to play it kind of games. But I am very glad that I played it. I'm also in Abyss. I think I'm about halfway through the second act, and I'm really mixed on it. Like, there's moments where I'm like, this is really good. This story is getting really engaging. The gameplay is really fun. You know, this music that's playing right now is really good. And then there's other times where I'm like, this game runs like shit. And that's consistent. It's not even moments. It's like, the game runs terribly. It literally takes 30 fucking seconds to save your game. It's awful. But there's times where I'm doing the story, I'm like, this is dumb. Like, this is just a really dumb scene. Or it might be just like, okay, like, the characters, I don't want to say it. I guess it's like the scene where you have to escape Batical in Act 2. There's parts of it where I'm like, this is really emotionally engaging, and I love what they're doing with the character. And I look at another important character in the scene and what they're doing. I'm like, I think this is what the story is going for, and I get it. But the execution just feels off. It just feels sloppy. And there's definitely times when Abyss is like that. Overall, I am still invested. I'm not at a point where I'm like, I need to fucking drop this thing. But I hope by the end of the game, everything was worth it. Because the first act, kinda terrible. I've heard that, and that by the end, you're like, you'll forgive it. It was all worth it. It was all part of the plan. It was all Lorelai's plan. It was all on the score. We'll see overall. I'm leaning toward this is going to be great and it's going to be worth it, but we'll see. In terms of reading projects, it's just been Umaneko. I read Banquet and Alliance of the Golden Witch in the VN. Then I just said for the answer arcs, I'm going to read the manga just so I can get through it faster. And I've read Dawn, or I end Dawn. I'm almost halfway through Requiem. I don't know when I'm going to do a video on Umineko. It's like when I'm done with the whole thing. I don't know if that's going to come out in June. I might take till July. I don't know how long it's going to be. It might be like a fucking 3-hour video of me just going, okay, this shit was crazy, and it just kept getting crazier. It kept getting better. The more I learned, the more questions I had. The more I learned, the more things made sense. But the more things made sense, somehow the less things made sense. But in a good way. I love all these characters. They're all fucking horrible people, except for maybe like 4 of them. But they're still super interesting, and it's great. That's probably what the Umineko video is going to be in a nutshell. And then it's going to be full spoilers. Like, you really can't talk about Umineko without spoilers. I mean, I know you can. There are videos like that, but oh man, I'm really looking forward to getting finished because it is phenomenal. No idea what I'm going to read next, by the way. Like, I know when I finish Abyss, it's going to be Lunar 2. And then after Lunar 2, Scarlet Nexus. After Scarlet Nexus, Witcher 3. Maybe somewhere in the middle of that, I'm finally going to pick up Kuro 2. With the reading project, like, when I'm done with Umineko, there's a part of me that says, okay, it's finally time to read House of Leaves. Another part of me is like, whoa, we got to read Higurashi. And then another part of me is like, whoa. What about the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog? It's pretty short. I'm like, okay, that's a good idea, but I still want to read Mistborn. I still want to read, I might go ahead and just, like, read the first thing of Psychonia. I have a lot. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do next. After that, Survivor 44. Watched it, liked it quite a bit. I think of the New Era 42 is still my favorite. I just remember really liking the cast a lot, but I liked the cast in this season a lot as well. I had a lot of fun with it. This is probably my second favorite overall in the New Era, which there's only 4 seasons, so that's not like a crazy compliment, because it's not like, oh man, of the like last 20, this is number 2. It's like, of the last 4, this is number 2, but I do like it quite a lot. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about Survivor, I am going to do another application soon, because this is one of my favorite shows of all time. I've always wanted to be on it. I want to apply. I want to get on there. Now, obviously, I won't be able to say anything. Like, if I don't hear back, I could probably just say, like, I didn't hear back. But if I do hear back, I'm not allowed to say anything. So even then, if it's like, well, he's not saying anything, I guess that implies he did. So I won't be saying anything either way. I'll probably just say, I sent my application, now I'm waiting. That's basically it, because I've also just been talking about the things I want to do in June. I'm almost done drafting the novel I'm working on. I've got about 1 chapter left, and then after that, I just get to edit, and I do like editing a lot. It is just like, how well does everything fit together? Super looking forward to it. Super looking forward to almost being done with this fucking thing after like 3 damn years. I keep getting calls from a friend of mine. He's back in town. He's the guy that's about to get married. We're going to go get breakfast. I am ignoring him so I can finish the video, and I feel really bad, which is why I'm going to try to finish the video right about now.